proscribing some of these terrorists, the Security Council has regrettably been unable to act.
From 2611 site, Minister shows mirror. UN made to bow head in shame.
And I am truly glad that Minister S. Jaishankar showed the mirror so plainly and so clearly to each and every member state of the United Nations Security Council. Because each and every one of those countries who had all sent their ambassadors to be with Minister Jaishankar at the Taj in Mumbai, at the 2611 terror attack site, have been shamed today because they've all played a part in failing miserably to contain terrorism emanating from Pakistan. And that's why today India has shamed the United Nations. I'm Shiv Aroor, this is 5 Live. These are the headlines. Storm over DMK leader's derogatory remark. Sexist Neta calls BJP actor turned Neta items. Even after Kanimori apology, he remains brazen, says his remarks are being misinterpreted. He gets flamed here on India Today. Women's and child rights body takes cognizance of shocking girls' auction system in Rajasthan. Gehlot government in the dock after reports of girls being auctioned for loan repayments. After Madarsa, now survey of Arabic schools in Karnataka. After complaints of poor standards of education, state to conduct survey of around 200 Arabic schools. Netas continue to queue up to seek blessings from rapist, self-styled murderer godman Baba Ram Rahim. India Today confronts Himachal Pradesh shameless minister Bikram Singh Thakur, who shamelessly attended this murderer rapist satsang. Elon Musk officially takes over social media giant Twitter, terminates top executives including CEO Parag Agarwal and legal head Vijaya Gadde, both persons of Indian origin. It's a massive meltdown here in India and across the world. Full special Twitter Musk at 5:30 p.m. It's been 14 years since the Mumbai 2611 terror attacks. I was there during that time, and I can tell you that the wounds of what happened during those few days in November 2008 are nowhere close to being healed. India has followed a great deal of due process over the last 14 years to get those responsible to justice. But today, over a period of just an hour, India's External Affairs Minister has shown the mirror, not to Pakistan, but to the world community, and especially the United Nations Security Council, which had been gathered in Mumbai for the first time for a meeting outside New York City, where they were flamed, they were embarrassed, and they were shown the reality of what an abject failure all of them have been in containing Pakistan's terror. Mumbai's Taj Hotel, a witness to the horrific 2611 terror attack, hosted this anti-terrorism meeting of the United Nations Security Council, like I said, for the first time outside New York City. As ambassadors of all 15 member states paid tribute to those who lost their lives. 166 persons lost their lives, remember. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar pulled out all the stops, reminded the world and the UN of its collective failure.
The Council has regrettably.
This is where brave Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan and his band of NSG commandos mounted their final terrifying storming operation to kill Pakistani terrorists. The iconic luxury hotel, a site of murder, devastation and blood, a location forever associated with the 2611 terror strike in Mumbai. Cut forward 14 years and it's now this stunning image. For the first time ever, the United Nations Security Council Counter-Terrorism Committee convening not in New York City as it always has, but at Mumbai's Taj Hotel. A somber occasion, 14 years after the deadly strike by the Pakistan-sponsored Lashkar-e-Toiba. as ambassadors of the 15 member states paid tribute in a gesture that's echoing around the world. India's External Affairs Minister didn't hold back.
The key conspirators and planners of the 26/11 attacks continue to remain protected and unpunished. When it comes to proscribing some of these terrorists, the Security Council has regrettably been unable to act in some cases because of political considerations. This undermines our collective credibility and our collective interests.
The occasion, ironically representative of the failure of the United Nations in cracking down on Pakistan-sponsored terror despite India's decade and a half of due process.
The guests and staff of the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, of Cafe Leopold and the Oberoi Trident Hotel, the Chabad House where baby Moshe's parents were killed, and innocent bystanders on the streets. It was not just an attack on Mumbai, but an attack on the international community. Nationals of specific countries were identified before being murdered. As a result, the commitment of each and every member state of the United Nations to combat terrorism stood publicly challenged.
166 persons died in the attacks, in addition to 9 of the terrorists. The sole terrorist captive, Ajmal Amir Kasab, was given due process under Indian law and finally hanged later. But India hasn't come anywhere close to obtaining justice for the attack.
We have endeavored to bring the masterminds and the perpetrators of this attack to justice. This task remains unfinished. Together, we should send out the message that the international community will never give up on holding terrorists accountable and delivering justice. 26/11 will never, ever be forgotten.
What India's External Affairs Minister has done today is remind the world of its failures, and that while India has remained target number 1 for Pakistani terror, powerful backers of Pakistan's deep state, like China, remain at the forefront of blunting the war. Bureau Report, India Today.
Just as a reminder of how little Pakistan has done and how completely pathetic, useless and a failure the United Nations has been as far as delivering justice to the 166 victims of the 26/11 terror attacks is concerned. Just take a look at the people who were responsible for 26/11 in Pakistan. Hafiz Mohammad Saeed, he's been under house arrest for something completely different. Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi, he came in and out of jail. He fathered children while he was in jail. He is a VIP. Zarar Shah, no action taken against him. Javed Iqbal, Abu Al-Kama, Abu Hamza, Abu Kafa, Yusuf alias Muzamil, and obviously, since it's Pakistan, there's a Colonel R. Sadatullah. Nobody knows what kind of justice has been delivered as far as all of these people is concerned. And these are only the known names. 9 of the terrorists were killed at the attack site, and one of them was hanged a few years later. Now remember that the fight against Pakistan continues, and the reason why Minister Jaishankar's words today in front of the United Nations Security Council members is so important is because not only has Pakistan failed, but then Pakistan has reason to fail. These are their own people. They have to protect these terrorists because these are Pakistani citizens who've been funded and created by the Pakistani state. But what explanation does the totally toothless, useless, hypocritical, in many ways shameless, and in many ways absolutely debilitated United Nations Security Council have for not delivering justice for 26/11? And remember, it wasn't just Indian citizens who were killed in Mumbai. At the UN Security Council meet, India gave a detailed presentation on Pakistan's continued support for all of those terrorists I just named involved in the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. The Indian delegation also played out an audio clip of this man, Sajid Mir, one of India's most wanted terrorists who directed the Mumbai terror attacks. Here's a detailed report on Sajid Mir, and it gets worse. I'll tell you after that.
बंदा जो है ना वो हमेशा कर रहा है, तो जो जहाँ पे आपको मूवमेंट नजर आती है, बंदा जिस छत पे चल रहा है, कोई आ रहा है जा रहा है, उसको फाइट ठोको। मुझे नहीं पता यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है। इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह।
Audio of Sajid Mir, a Pakistani-based Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist, directing the Pakistani terrorist at the Chabad House, a Jewish shelter in Mumbai during the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks in 2008. The Pakistani terrorists were trapped near the rooftop. Indian Air Force's Mi-17 helicopters were hovering on top of the building and National Security Guard commandos were rappelling down. The Pakistani terrorists called up their handlers at a safe house in Karachi seeking directions.
This voice clip which you are going to hear, he can be heard directing the assailants at Sabad House.
बंदा जो है ना वो हमेशा कर रहा है, तो जो जहाँ पे आपको मूवमेंट नजर आती है, बंदा जिस छत पे चल रहा है, कोई आ रहा है जा रहा है, उसको फाइट ठोको। मुझे नहीं पता यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है। इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह।
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar pointed out 14 years after the terror attack that the perpetrators in Pakistan were still to be punished for their role in 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks.
Will never, ever. The key conspirators and planners of the 26/11 attacks continue to remain protected and unpunished. When it comes to proscribing some of these terrorists, the Security Council has regrettably been unable to act in some cases because of political considerations.
It was here at the Jewish Chabad House that baby Moshe, a Jewish toddler, was hidden by his Indian nanny. His Jewish parents were mercilessly killed by the Pakistani terrorists. Who is Sajid Mir? Pakistan-based radical Islamist terrorist. Born in 1978 in Lahore, Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist commander. Plotted and directed 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. FBI most wanted terrorist. $5 million reward on him for kill or capture post 26/11. He also planned the Denmark newspaper attack in 2009. Pakistan was forced to arrest and convict Sajid Mir when placed on the Financial Action Task Force grey list, but not for 26/11. Despite being on the FATF grey list and FBI most wanted list with a $5 million award for terror, China has repeatedly blocked sanctions against Sajid Mir. Both India and US sought Sajid Mir to be listed on the UN Security Council 1267 sanctions list, but China has on 3 different occasions put a technical hold on sanctions, enabling Pakistan to continue with its radical Islamist terror. Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to bring in India Today's Gaurav Sawant, who, along with me and our team, 14 years ago, both Gaurav and me were in Mumbai covering 26/11. So this, in many ways, is personal to us. This, in many ways, is real for us because there is a sense not only of despondency, but a sense of shock, Gaurav, that such a long time has passed and no justice has been served. All of those people, none of them have faced justice for the 26/11 terror attacks, which was by far the biggest terror attack in India so far. The question I'm asking you, Gaurav, now is, Sajid Mir's audio clip was played out in front of this ragtag bunch of ambassadors from the United Nations Security Council, and permit me my disrespect because this is personal for us. But the question I'm asking you is, this is not just Pakistan, is it? It's also China that's shielding and protecting terrorists like Sajid Mir.
Shiv, you're absolutely right. 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks actually shows how the world is not geared up to combat international cross-border terrorism, and we've seen this. Look at Sajid Mir, case in point, Hafiz Mohammed Saeed, that Maulana of terror, Masood Azhar. The list is long, and it's not just Pakistan, a state sponsor of terror, and despite not taking any action, not just against India-centric terror, but also, you know, whether it's the Haqqani network or other terrorists who've harmed American interests in Afghanistan. The source of terror is Pakistan, but Pakistan managed to get out of the FATF grey list. Why? Because politics became more important than international security or human lives. And Dr. S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, pointed it out that 140 of those killed were Indians, 26 were from different foreign countries, including the United States of America and Israel, and yet no action is being taken against Pakistan as state sponsor of terror. What is worse, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, China, continues to shield Pakistan by blocking sanctions, first against that Maulana of terror Masood Azhar, and now Sajid Mir, and not once but at least 3 times.
It's incredible, and that's one of the reasons why, I take my hat off to Minister Jaishankar, because he's laid it on the line. He's a person who speaks his mind. He has his critics as far as diplomacy is concerned, but as far as the United Nations is concerned, there are very few foreign ministers, Gaurav, who, while hosting a United Nations delegation, will in his own polite way shame the United Nations delegation itself. Well, not those people personally, but the Security Council, because today is not just about commission by Pakistan, but it's about epic omission by the UNSC, Gaurav.
Shiv, you've hit the nail on its head. It's 14 years since 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, and over a decade of relentless effort being made by India to have terrorists sanctioned. The 1267 Sanctions Committee, it has a purpose, it has an aim, and the fact that India, being a victim of terror, is also at the forefront of this war on radical Islamist terror. India is repeatedly saying this, that we'll be able to protect ourselves from Pakistan state-sponsored terror. It's for the world to wake up. After all, whether it's 9/11 terror attacks in the United States of America, or American interests being harmed in Afghanistan, or the 7/7 London bombing, or the recent stabbings that have taken place in the United Kingdom, the source of all that terror is Pakistan, and not just non-state actors in Pakistan, elements in Pakistan Army and ISI, which has been documented not just by India, but also the Federal Investigation Agency of Pakistan,
Yes,
that said Pakistan Navy had trained these 10 terrorists at Thatta in Sindh, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which carried out an independent investigation in the Denmark bombing attempt, where David Coleman Headley and Tahawwur Hussain Rana, Pakistan's assets and Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist sleeper cells in US and Canada were involved. They carried out reconnaissance in India, in Denmark,
Yes,
and in other countries in Europe. So this is how widespread Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror is, and sadly, Pakistan is out of the FATF grey list.
Gaurav, thanks very much for that. The pressure has to continue to remain on Pakistan no matter what. Despondency is one thing, but there can be no despair when it comes to the war on terror, despite the epic failures of the United Nations Security Council. Now, in the real world, Pakistan continues to brazen it out. In the world of sports, on the cricket pitch, they've been defeated. And Pakistan's one-run loss to Zimbabwe in the T20 World Cup not only left their hopes of making the semi-finals hanging by a thread, but also led to a very amusing viral moment featuring a fake Mr. Bean. Why is no one surprised that a fake Mr. Bean belongs to Pakistan?
When Zimbabwe beat Pakistan in an absolute thriller in the T20 World Cup, the world of cricket was abuzz at the nature of the upset win. However, few, if anyone, could have predicted the social media storm that followed, which included popular TV character Mr. Bean being invoked by the president of Zimbabwe. After the win, Zimbabwe's president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, tweeted his congratulations to the side. What a win for Zimbabwe. Congratulations to the chevrons. Next time, send the real Mr. Bean, he signed off. The man in question is a Pakistani comedian named Asif Mohammed, who has done this routine for a long time. Indeed, so popular is this bit in his home country that he once starred in a TV commercial as a fake Mr. Bean with none other than Shahid Afridi. However, the Zimbabwean public, who expected the real Mr. Bean to show up, failed to see the funny side of Asif's routine. One Zimbabwe user tweeted in reply to a PCB tweet before the match, "As Zimbabweans, we won't forgive you. You once gave us that Pakistani Bean instead of the real Mr. Bean. We will settle the matter tomorrow. Just pray the rains will save you." But social media users had a field day with this, leading to the match between Zimbabwe and Pakistan being dubbed the Mr. Bean Derby. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif also acknowledged the tweet of Zimbabwe's president, saying, "We may not have the real Mr. Bean, but we have real cricketing spirit, and we Pakistanis have a funny habit of bouncing back. Mr. President, congratulations, your team played really well today." Pakistan fans will hope they can indeed bounce back, given their 2 losses have their World Cup hopes hanging by a thread. Sports Bureau, India Today.
And coming up next, Elon Musk officially takes a big bite, swallows up social media giant Twitter, terminates top executives including persons of Indian origin, Parag Agarwal, Vijaya Gadde and others. There's a massive Musk meltdown over the Twitter buyout. That's next.
जितने भी पूरे भारत में सिक्योरिटी गार्ड लगे हुए हैं, सबको मान सम्मान मिलना चाहिए।
हम अकेले ड्यूटी करते हैं, हम गरीब आदमी हैं सर।
आत्मसम्मान तो मेरा चला ही गया, मुझे सिर्फ रिस्पेक्ट चाहिए।
हम आपकी कहानी पूरी दुनिया को सुनाएंगे और आपके स्वाभिमान के लिए आवाज उठाएंगे। रात 9 बजे आज तक पर।
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now.
Electing to bat first, India expected a good start from their openers. But KL Rahul couldn't make use of this opportunity and was dismissed cheap. Rohit Sharma, however, wasn't going to miss out. He was slow to start with but picked up the pace soon.
That's a very good shot.
Another boundary and Rohit Sharma got to his half-century of just 35 deliveries. But soon after that 50, Rohit was dismissed in the next over, laying a good platform for the batters to follow. While Virat resumed from where he left in the last innings, Suryakumar Yadav went berserk right from the word go. Surya was blazing along at the other end. Virat also upped the tempo and the Dutch bowlers were left helpless at the SCG. Virat soon raised his second consecutive half-century of the tournament. And Surya ended the Indian innings with a towering 6 that also earned him his half-century of just 25 balls. A chase of 180 was always going to be a tall ask for the Netherlands, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar made it even more difficult. The Indian spinners got into action with Akshar Patel doing the damage first with 2 wickets, before Ashwin also joined in to pick 2 more, and Netherlands were reduced to 63 for 5 in the 13th over.
Another one. This was...
India did not let Netherlands off the hook and continued to make inroads one after the other.
True fast bowler's wicket.
Soon it was all over as India restricted the Netherlands to 123 for 9, winning the contest by 56 runs and also surging to the top of Group 2 with their second consecutive victory. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Cylinder blast in a car, an ISIS link, and a political slugfest. Days after a blast in Coimbatore, war of words has erupted between the ruling DMK and the BJP. While the state BJP chief K. Annamalai has been terming it a suicide attack,
State Minister Senthil Balaji has lashed out at him, accusing the Neta of politicizing the car bomb explosion.
Police was saying that it is a cylinder blast. Then we went one step further. We said it is a suicide attack. Tamil Nadu police is a globally renowned police force, on par with Scotland Yard. But the way the CM, way the DGP sir was speaking, the way others were speaking, it was like a childish school kids talking in front of a press.
As the BJP called for a dawn to dusk Bandh on October 31st, Senthil Balaji warned the Saffron Party of severe action. In a sensational allegation, Annamalai alleged that the Stalin government got intelligence alert about the bombing on October 18th. He questioned the DMK as to why the probe against deceased Mubin was stopped when it came to power. He slammed the DMK for alleged minority appeasement politics.
We have great officers, ma'am. My only worry is you are tying their hands. You are not allowing the officers to speak. And you want to tone it down, calling that as a cylinder blast. That is where we are angry, madam. If it has happened, you at least inform the public so that people take adequate precautions.
The National Investigation Agency on Thursday took over the investigation in the Coimbatore car blast case by registering an FIR. With the recovery of 75 kg of explosives from deceased suspect Mubin's house, have the police busted an ISIS module in Coimbatore? With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting.
Films is almost in the blood of this Kapoor household.
At this point of time, we are almost 10 or 11 of us actively involved in acting.
Including you. You're coming in a film where you're acting as the husband of the one and only Dimple Kapadia. Did you warn him before he decided to come in front of camera, or did you encourage him?
I encouraged him because I always knew that acting ka keeda was there in him. Me and mom used to sit and look at him because after he'd come back from work every night, he'd put on, what was that channel? It used to play all those old Hindi songs. While these songs played, he'd like enact all of the songs and sing along. And like he'd break into dance, and me and mom would just, she would look at me straight in the eye and say, thank God your father didn't become an actor. There'd be no holding him. I wouldn't be able to control him then.
Musk is in the house, and finally, after months of back and forth, one of the world's richest, most unpredictable billionaires is in the house. And after lots of back and forth, Elon Musk has finally formally acquired Twitter. The social media giant, after a great deal of unpredictability, now belongs to Elon Musk.
The deal is done. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, who champions himself as free speech absolutist, has acquired Twitter. A day after walking into the Twitter headquarters with a sink in his hand, Musk took to the microblogging site to announce the bird is freed. Over coffee, Musk also interacted with Twitter employees, or what is left of them. A number of top bosses were fired as soon as the deal was struck. The closing of the $44 billion deal draws an end to a saga full of twists and turns. It all began in April when Musk revealed that he was Twitter's largest shareholder and expressed interest in buying the company. A $44 billion deal was formalized. But in May, Musk complained that the company was underreporting the actual number of fake accounts on the platform. In July, Musk claimed that he was no longer interested in acquiring the company. Twitter took Musk to court, claiming that the billionaire was legally committed to the acquisition. In October, Musk revised his takeover plans on the condition that all legal proceedings were paused. What's the future of Twitter? Only Musk knows. But the ambitious billionaire is surely going to bring about a lot of new changes after winning his holy war for free speech. Many tweeples barred earlier, like Donald Trump, are likely to be allowed back on the platform. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, in case you didn't already know, Elon Musk's first tweet after taking over Twitter was, "The bird is freed." That's what he tweeted. He later fired the entire top brass, from Indian origin CEO Parag Agarwal, who had locked horns with Elon Musk over the issue of bots and moderation policies, was reportedly escorted out of the Twitter headquarters. Also, Vijaya Gadde, the Indian origin Twitter legal head who was behind Trump's ouster from Twitter, she was also escorted out of the building. It was a big first day of the Elon takeover.
Soon after taking over Twitter, Elon Musk hung out with the staff at its headquarters coffee bar. Moments later, news broke that he had fired some of the top executives at the microblogging platform. Chief Executive Parag Agarwal, Chief Financial Officer Ned Segal, Legal Affairs and Policy Chief Vijay Gadde, and General Counsel Sean Edgett have all been sacked. Reports suggest that Agarwal has left the San Francisco office and is never to return. However, Agarwal's official Twitter handle still says that he is the CEO of Twitter. He has also not issued any other statements or tweets regarding the big move. The immediate sacking of Parag Agarwal and other Twitter bosses was on expected lines. What was expected, though, was the way they were booted out of their offices. Reuters reported that Agarwal and CFO Ned Segal were in Twitter's San Francisco headquarters when the deal closed and were escorted out. Vijay Gadde, the head of legal policy, trust and safety, has also been fired. Hyderabad-born Gadde was the key executive who made the decision to permanently ban former US President Donald Trump from Twitter, following the infamous Capitol Hill riots. She was in the limelight after multiple reports from earlier this year suggested that she cried after getting to know that Musk is buying Twitter. The big Twitter purge comes after Musk had accused the top executives of misleading him and investors over the number of fake accounts on the social media platforms. Musk has told Twitter employees that he is not planning on laying off 75% of the staff. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, Elon Musk wants to be seen as a man who is a flag bearer of free speech. After buying out Twitter, everyone is just asking one question. Will Elon Musk, now the owner of this social media giant, invite Donald Trump to return to Twitter? Here's a report. He was booted out of Twitter, the most high-profile leader to be removed, and ever since, Donald Trump has been ruthless in his criticism of the social media platform. Calling Twitter corrupt and his favorite jargon of fake news, Trump will be thrilled with Elon Musk taking over the social media company. The former US president was unceremoniously ousted from Twitter after the violence on Capitol Hill on January the 6th, 2021. Two tweets of Trump's were seen as incendiary and insightful by Twitter, prompting the suspension of his Twitter account. Trump's Twitter journey has been eventful, to say the least. Let's go back in time to over a year ago when Trump was putting out a tweet literally every second. From calling the US presidential polls rigged to spreading endless fake news on COVID, Trump earned the manipulated media badge with almost every single tweet. And it all culminated with his account, followed by millions, being suspended in January 2021. And now, with Elon Musk buying Twitter lock, stock and barrel, Republicans have one demand: bring back Trump. Several Republicans hailing Musk's takeover of the social media giant are now making a case for Donald Trump's comeback. So will Trump return to Twitter now? The former US president for now has ruled it out, saying he's focusing on his own social media platform, ironically called Truth, and promised to start truthing very soon. But with Trump, who really knows? If there's one thing we've all learned from Trump's Twitter account, it's that you can never quite rule out the unexpected from him. Bureau Report, India Today. I want to go across to India Today's Ayush Elavadi, who's our tech editor, looks at all things Twitter and beyond. Ayush, it's a non-stop exciting week. Finally, it has sunk in. The chief twit is in the house. But, I first want to talk about those high-profile sackings. What happened? Was that expected? Was it expected that Elon Musk was going to walk in and just throw out Vijaya Gadde and Parag Agarwal, among others?
If the nature of it certainly wasn't expected, we've discussed this before, it's as erratic as Mr. Musk is. It was expected that there would be some sort of purge, so to speak, but the nature of it and the scale of it, almost instantaneously, I think he's taken the kitchen sinking example a little too far with Parag Agarwal as well. That was a spat which was in the public. Obviously, once we have more confirmation, we'll also know that the kind of handsome payouts that a lot of the top executives have gotten are in millions of dollars, reportedly tens and millions of dollars. So, of course, they've been paid out, but it's also deplorable, and it's quite disappointing to hear that the reports also suggesting that they were escorted out of the building, and I think it's just not in good taste, Shiv.
It's sad. Thanks very much for that, Ayush. I mean, a lot of people are wondering, there's a great deal of schadenfreude as well, people feeling good about these sackings, because remember that Twitter has been a very polarized battlefield. Many people believe that Twitter, under the leadership of, the former leadership at least, has, sided with the left liberal side. The right wing has felt sidelined as a result of this. They believe that Twitter has indulged in political bias in the manner in which it deals with accounts, shadow bans accounts, suspends accounts, etc., etc. And therefore, there's a lot of joy and glee among certain sections around the world over these sackings. But remember that this continues to be a very unpredictable time as far as the social media giant is concerned. Now, Elon Musk is the new Malik of Twitter. He calls himself the chief twit. From buying Coca-Cola and adding cocaine in it to making fun of Trump's social media account, it's not even a week since Elon Musk had originally signaled that the end was in sight, and now Twitter is in his hands. The Tesla CEO seems to have ample time for some Twitter banter, and now that he owns Twitter, probably even more. Next, I'm buying Coca-Cola to put the cocaine back in. Trump's Truth Social should be called Trumpet. Cocaine, ice cream, Trump, and tweeting fun on a whim and whipping it up on Twitter. Elon Musk, who just pocketed the social media giant for a cool $44 billion, is on a viral roll. The world's richest man seems to have ample time for some Twitter banter, joking that he's up for buying another global brand, Coca-Cola, to put cocaine back into it. Obviously, firmly tongue-in-cheek, referring to Coke's original recipe at launch more than a century ago. He may be joking, but with Musk, you can never be sure. Remember, in 2017, he had jokingly asked how much it would cost him to buy out Twitter. 4 years later, we've just seen what happened. Despite all the talk of Donald Trump's return to Twitter under Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest man hasn't stopped having some fun at the expense of the former US president. Musk tweeted saying that Trump's fledgling networking site, Truth Social, has a terrible name and should be called Trumpet instead. The SpaceX CEO had recently also launched at fellow billionaire Bill Gates, taking a deeply personal jibe at his potbelly. Musk has also been harsh on Twitter or its perceived left-leaning management, accusing them of censoring free speech and having extreme antibody reactions towards the right to express oneself. According to his pact with Twitter, Musk cannot tweet anything disparaging against the platform itself. So the eccentric tweets have sparked speculation that Musk may have developed cold feet about actually buying Twitter. Since Tesla's stock prices have been falling over the deal involving megabucks, China too could put a spanner in the works, since Musk's absolutely free speech push may not gel well with the authoritarian Beijing. Bureau Report, India Today. There's a good chance you know quite a bit already about Elon Musk, the new Malik of Twitter, the new chief twit. But here's a look at a man known better for his eccentric behavior, his astounding wealth and eclectic decisions. But beyond the mask of the billionaire, who is Elon Musk? Where did he come from? Where did he somehow drop out of the blue from? Take a look. The man, the Musk.
He is a billionaire. He is one of the world's richest men who sells clean energy, green cars, and travels to space. His endeavors are futuristic and driven by science. A Stanford PhD dropout, Elon Musk has been an entrepreneur from the very beginning. His first startup was co-founded with his brother Kimball Musk. The brothers parted ways after their software company Zip2 was acquired by Compaq for $307 million in 1999. While the elder of the Musk brothers stuck to computers and softwares, Kimball Musk today is an entrepreneur focused on trying to change America's food culture.
Mostly just doesn't taste very good.
They come from a different lineage. Their maternal grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, was an adventurous American-born Canadian who took his family on a record-breaking journey in a single-engine Belanca aeroplane from Africa to Australia. Elon Musk's father, Aroor Musk, is a South African electromechanical engineer, pilot, sailor, consultant, and property developer who was once a half-owner of a Zambian emerald mine near Lake Tanganyika. Elon Musk's parents divorced when he was 10. His mother, May, has 2 Masters of Science degrees. Practiced as a dietitian and worked on the side as a model to pay bills as a single mother. His first cousins, Lyndon and Peter Rive, are the founders of solar energy service company Solar City. But Elon Musk is the most famous of the clan. Thanks to his mad scientist way and the beatless buzz surrounding the company, he's dreamed up from PayPal to electric car maker Tesla Motors to aerospace manufacturer SpaceX. Today, he's richer than Jeff Bezos and more unpredictable than the weather. In December 2021, he declared on Twitter that he wanted to quit. A month later, he started to buy shares of Twitter almost on daily batches. In July 2021, a bare feet Elon Musk was seen visiting another billionaire, Richard Branson, at 3 a.m. on the morning of the Virgin boss's space escapade. The photo that Branson tweeted showed Musk bare feet. The reason for being without shoes remains unknown. He is a voracious speaker, and in one of his talks in May 2021, he revealed having Asperger's syndrome.
But as far as India is concerned, whether it is Tesla or Starlink or any of the other big Elon Musk products, Elon Musk has not really been able to capture the Indian market, so his experience with India has not been as good as it has been in other countries. But Twitter could be that big game changer for him. Twitter has about 24 million active users from India. However, the social media giant and the Indian government have locked horns notoriously several times over free speech issues. Could all of that change under Musk? Let's take a look.
It has been an impossible market for Elon Musk to crack. All the efforts of the world's richest man have been in vain till now. Twitter, however, turns the tide for him. With nearly 24 million active users, India is an important market for the social media giant and gives Indians their first opportunity to use an Elon Musk product. But if Musk was thinking getting a foot through the door will help him open up new markets for Tesla and Starlink, the government has made it clear that it is not happening, especially with Tesla, which Musk has been trying hard to drive into India from its China manufacturing base.
If the Elon Musk is ready to manufacture a Tesla in India, there is no problem. We have got the all competency, the vendors are available. We have got the all type of technology. And because of that, he can reduce the cost. But our request to him is that you come to India, start manufacturing here. India is a huge market. The export availability, everything, ports are available. They can make their export from India. And he is welcome. He is welcome in India. We don't have any problem. But suppose you want to manufacture in China and sell in India, it cannot be a good proposition for India. Our request to him is come to India and manufacture here.
The government's resolve to push Elon Musk to make in India has not weakened in the past few months.
इंडिया में हमारे जो वेंडर्स है वो पूरा टेस्ला को दे सकते हैं मटेरियल. अब थोड़ा सा एक मेरे मन की बात है जो मैंने टेस्ला को बार बार कही कि चाइना में बनाकर हिंदुस्तान में बेचने वाला काम मत करो. हिंदुस्तान में आओ, हमको मदद करते हैं, यहाँ हमारे वेंडर्स हैं, हमारे यहाँ बनाओ, हमारे यहाँ बेचो, हमारे यहाँ से एक्सपोर्ट करो. जो मदद चाहिए आपको हमारी सरकार करेगी.
Even Starlink has run into trouble with the Indian government. The Musk-owned company offers low-latency broadband internet service, failed to get a commercial license in India. Starlink had received 5,000 pre-orders, but was forced to refund them in the absence of the license. Meanwhile, India remains a big challenge for Twitter, with the platform getting in frequent trouble with the government over the free speech. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
Exciting, anxious, uncertain times ahead for Twitter. It's the new Elon Musk ride, so we'll have to see what the chief twit has in store. Taking a very quick break on the other side, right here on 5 Live. After beating KGF Chapter 2 on IMDb with 9.6 ratings, Kantara has literally set the box office on fire. It's still the big talking point, and we'll tell you more next.
The 90s horror has come back to haunt Kashmiri Pandits in the valley, claims the minority community. Jammu and Kashmir's Shopia village is witnessing an exodus. As many as 10 families, comprising 30 to 40 Kashmiri Pandits, have fled to Jammu amid the rise in targeted killings. While the Shopia administration has denied claims of any exodus, Pandits who have since been camping in Jammu staged protest on Thursday and claimed the government is doing nothing but rubbing salt on their wounds.
This time it's on part of the government. Government is denying exodus. Government is denying the killings. Government is saying everything is hunky-dory. They are celebrating Jashn-e-Kashmir, Jashn-e-Azadi, but bereft of Kashmiri Pandits.
The plight of Kashmiri Pandits is political flashpoint in the Union Territory. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who was in the valley on Thursday, tore into previous governments for their alleged silence on the killings of Kashmiri Pandits over the years.
जम्मू कश्मीर में जो स्थिति बन गई थी, उसके पीछे ऐसे लोगों की चुप्पी एक बहुत बड़ा कारण थी। सबसे दुखद तो तब रहा जब कश्मीरी पंडितों को एथनिक क्लिंजिंग करके उन्हें घाटी से पलायन करने पर मजबूर किया गया।
National Conference Chief Farooq Abdullah triggered a row when he said Kashmir will become 100% Hindu-less if the government fails to do anything soon.
होम मिनिस्टर है, उनको देखना चाहिए और इसकी तरफ तवज्जो देनी चाहिए कि वो जो रोज कहते हैं कि हालात ठीक हैं, तो हालात ठीक नहीं है, नहीं तो हालात ठीक हो तो ये क्यों जाते?
But I don't get an answer.
The Congress lashed out at the centre and demanded that the Modi government release a white paper on the plight of the minority community during its 8-year rule.
We need a white paper on the last 8 years of errors of omission and commission done by this government, which has led to a situation where there are target killings of Kashmiri Pandits, which has led to a situation where you cannot hold an election in the state.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on.
Kantara has literally set the box office on fire, and there's no stopping for Rishabh Shetty's directorial. This period action thriller is making the right noises, so much so that it has even entered the 200 crore rupee club, besides breaking many records. Here's a report from our Entertainment Bureau.
Kantara has literally set the box office on fire, and there seems to be no stopping for this Rishabh Shetty directorial. After beating KGF Chapter 2 on IMDb with 9.6 rating, it grossed over 200 crore rupees at the box office globally and left the Yash starer behind in terms of total footfalls in the state of Karnataka. It also became the most viewed film produced by Homebird Films in Karnataka, then became the second film to be screened at Sadhguru's Isha Foundation. It was also praised by superstar Rajnikant and several other celebrities, including Kangana Ranaut.
Called Kantara, and I'm still shaking. What an explosive experience. Rishabh Shetty, hats off to you. Writing, directing, acting, action, brilliant. Unbelievable. What a fine blend of folklore, tradition, indigenous issues. What a beautiful photography, action, thriller. This is what is cinema. This is what films are for. And the theatrical experience, unbelievable. I heard so many people say in the theater, लोग जाते जाते कह रहे थे कि हमने ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं देखा कभी. Thank you for this film, and brilliant. I don't think I'm going to recover from this experience, not for another week. Wow. Wow.
जरूर कुछ अनर्थ होने वाला है.
And now the film, which was rolled out in Hindi on October 14th, has achieved a new milestone by beating Punyan Selvan Part 1's lifetime collection in the language. According to reports, Kantara earned over 26 crore rupees and is now inching towards 30 crore mark in the North Belt. This indeed is a huge boost to period action thriller, which was predominantly a Kannada film that opened in theatres on September 30th, much to the delight of the die-hard fans. The film received rave reviews, which helped it emerge as a big hit at the Karnataka box office. Made on a budget of less than 20 crore rupees, Kantara explores the traditional culture of Kambala and Bhuta Kola. Rishabh plays two distinctive characters in the flick.
शिकार भी जोरों से चल रहा है। डिपार्टमेंट का तकलीफ हो अगर कोई ऐसा कदम उठाया तो सीधे 3rd डिग्री मिलेगी। हाँ, पढ़े बिना ही डिग्री।
And interestingly, Naveen Bondal, who plays the role of a demigod with ample eyes and who answers the king's request, has caught a lot of attention in the film, but not many know he was a bus conductor once. The cast also includes Kishore, Achyut Kumar, Saptami Gowda and Pramod Shetty. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
Thanks for watching. Signing off by leaving you with these images of Karnataka that has just set a world record in a mass singing program organized by the Kannada and Culture Department in the run-up to Karnataka Rajyotsava. The program received overwhelming response with an estimated 1 crore people singing 6 classic Kannada songs in various locations across the globe. Wishing all of our Kannada viewers a very happy Rajyotsava.
Ayush, what's gone wrong with the Facebook dream, the Facebook model?
Revenue declined for 2 straight quarters for the first time in the company's history, and a revenue drop expected in the ongoing quarter as well. It looks like all is not well in the meta world clearly. Remember, all of this comes on the backdrop of a bunch of things. Weak global economic growth, competition from the TikToks and the BeReals of the world. BeReal seems to be an app a lot of youngsters are using nowadays. Netflix and Disney for advertisers. Concerns, of course, around profitability and return on investment. What is the metaverse? This abstract concept that Mark Zuckerberg's been talking about. Of course, there's also the threat of regulation in different countries around the world, even in markets like India. It seems like when you speak to people in the tech world, people aren't entirely sure about this meta dream that everyone's talking about. Mark Zuckerberg has a certain interpretation or a vision of the metaverse, and clearly, judging by these results, all is not well.
Ayush, do you think the steps the company has announced will work out?
Well, that's an interesting question, because in terms of reviving the company, Mark Zuckerberg's bet seems to be the metaverse. And if that's his interpretation of the metaverse, for now we've seen no real proof of concept. And while there is potential in this whole Web3 world about what the metaverse will be all about, we don't know if the metaverse will take off in a big way, apart from maybe gaming perhaps. And then when you're talking about gaming, there's a bunch of competitors who are already investing, like the Microsoft Activision deal, $69 billion, so much potential to do things in the Web3 world or the metaverse world. But all of this is Web3 conversation or conversations of the future. In his Web2 businesses, they aren't necessarily innovating. If you have a look at them, Facebook is used lesser and lesser by teens. A lot of people have flocked away to TikTok, BeReal. Snapchat's always been a lot more popular. Facebook, of course, is used lesser. Then if you talk about any new feature that maybe Snapchat or TikTok launches, Facebook and Instagram seem to copy it almost in a matter of days, if not weeks. Reels is something that the company has taken a very serious stance on. They want to monetize it and make it a revenue driver. But even in terms of Reels, there's a lot of competition from other short video apps. Here in India, there's a bunch of indigenous apps which came with the TikTok ban. And in the rest of the world, TikTok seems to be quite popular, if not more popular than Instagram's Reels product.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices.
Do people sort of judge you, you think, at times, always looking close?
Of course they judge you. But it's a part of my life. It's always been a part of my life. My identity is so intrinsically attached to the fact that I come from a privileged household. I can't divorce my identity from the fact that my parents have made a name for themselves that might always overshadow my name. I'm okay with that. My only thrill in life and aim in life is to make them proud and to hopefully keep doing films because that's what I live for. My love for